Listen, I've spent the past 3 months studying hundreds of channels and really diving deep into about 50 channels that are blowing up on the platform at the moment, and that is the niche. If you're over 40, start a YouTube channel. Now, if you're not over 40, we're going to look into what we can learn from this, or if you are over 40, then we're going to see why now is probably the best time of your life to start a YouTube channel. So let's just get right into it right about now.
Hi, I'm Jen. I am 58 years old. I'm single, I live alone, hence the name of my channel, Silver and Solo. And I have no experience in video editing, video making, video anything before starting this YouTube channel.
When it comes to imposter syndrome, it is easy for a lot of people our age to think like, oh man, why would anyone listen to me? There's a lot of people who are younger and better looking, who are already doing this way better than I can.
I want to talk to anybody who's over 40, and it's really about convincing you to get into video, and specifically YouTube. As of recording this, do I want to tell you my age? Yeah, what the heck? I'm 63. At the day I'm recording this, I'm 63.
I started my channel just 4 months ago. I have 19,000 subscribers. I got monetized in 9 weeks. And most of my videos, and I've only got 14 videos. Most of them have between 1,000 and 5,000 views.
I will just say again, people in your 50s and 60s, the world needs the wisdom that you have to share. Heck, even if you're older, 70s and 80s, have at it. The world needs what you have to share, and you have the opportunity to do it because it's really not that complicated.
Wow, that intro was so long, I managed to grow a beard. But what we're going to do now is do what I call in-depth research. So this is what I do when I'm researching a topic. Go through channels, not just looking at one thing, look at the overall picture, kind of see what we can learn. It's called a deep dive, The next channel we're going to take a look at is Silver and Solo. She's a creator I've been watching over the past year, and she's gone from 0 to 90,000 subscribers in just over a year. So if you look at Jen's oldest videos, we've got one here, which a lot of people do. It's like our random dog walk, trips out, vlogging. She then decided at the start of the new year in 2024 that she would show her journey to get her channel monetized in 10 weeks. Well, Jen was not a YouTube expert. What she was doing was showing evidence. She was telling her subscribers how she's getting to where she is, what she's doing. She set herself a challenge. She's like, do you know what? I'm going to take people along for the ride. What works, what doesn't work. And people like that. But it wasn't like, this is my theory on how you grow a YouTube channel. She was actually showing her life experience, what she was doing. And I think this is something that's important that I see on a lot of these channels that are blowing up. It's about evidence-based content creation. So this series, it gave Jen her first spike of views, her first taste of YouTube fame, a little peek, as I call it. But it was only when she tapped into her life experience and actually laid herself out as being quite vulnerable, in the sense of this video went viral. She's talking about, I'm 53 years old, I was made redundant, I'm single, living life solo, this is what I'm doing. She wasn't negative, she's just saying, you know, this is my life. Tapping into her audience who are going to be sitting there at the other end of the camera thinking, do you know what, I can relate to that. That is how I feel too. She didn't need Mr. Beast style thumbnails. She didn't need to hire a video editor, as far as I can tell anyway. I'm sure she said she edits her own videos with no experience. She's just cutting out little bits here and there. Nothing too complicated that anybody in this day and age can't do themselves. The thing that's interesting with Silver and Solo's channel is she doesn't just talk about one thing, which is like how to grow a YouTube channel, because people say when you start YouTube to have a niche, stick in that niche, don't move out of it. But she does actually venture into different topics, which I think serves her well, because she's creating a connection with the audience. So it's not just about a topic, she's giving away a bit of her life and her experience, which is creating a connection with the viewers. It's about being authentic. Authenticity. How many times do you hear people say, oh, I'm a big shot, I'm a big success, but they don't tell you all the struggles that they had, because they just want you to think everything's easy. But realistically, like everything in life, there are struggles. It's very rare people go on a journey of idea to success with nothing in between. So instead of saying to people, this is how you create a YouTube channel, take people on the journey. Even if you fail, say at the end of it, this is why I failed, because of this reason, maybe because of that reason, but I'm going to get back on it again and try again. Now, the next channel we're going to look at is Brandon Bautista. He's a channel that I came across, not literally, of course, but I discovered it last year when I was thinking of starting a YouTube channel. I watched his videos, and the first one I seen, he was outside vlogging. It was awkward. It wasn't just awkward for him, but it was kind of a bit awkward to watch, but actually that made me really respect him for doing it. He talks about he wants to try vlogging outside. He gets a camera. We've all been there. And then the reality is you go outside and you realize how awkward it is. That's what outside looks like, because I couldn't be bothered to go outside to film that part of the video. But you realise, oh, it's awkward. And he was being honest about it. He then goes on a journey, keeps making these videos over time. He doesn't give up, he keeps trying it. And if you follow him as a creator, you're subscribed to him, you're like, do you know what? He's gone on a journey. He's tried something and succeeded.
And it's not that busy, and people won't notice me walking around with a camera. So here I go. Can't do this. I feel kind of embarrassed. All right, I feel embarrassed. That's enough. Well, that was pretty embarrassing.
I'm progressing, you know, in terms of subscribers and the amount of videos that I'm making. But if you don't want to be like me and not take nearly 2 decades to reach 1,000 subscribers, you kind of want to do the opposite of what I've been doing for the past 17.5 years.
So if you take a look at his oldest videos, so you see here before his content was fairly random, and then he switched to talking about life experience stuff. So we've got here unfair advantages for older creators on YouTube. He has life experience. He's talking about the things that give him an advantage versus all the other random stuff that he was doing before. If we look at his most popular videos, you'll see he has had videos in the past that bring in huge views. So this one's tornado evacuation in an airport. Huge views, but it doesn't necessarily make people want to subscribe. Whereas this one is what propelled his channel up. And then also things like filming in public. It took Brandon 18 years to get from 0 to 347 subscribers, and then last year he's gone all the way up to, I think he's on about 1,500 now. So what can we learn there? Well, one, don't give up. Sometimes a bit of a shortcut can be step back and be look at your whole channel and say what's working over here, what's not working. Are you in the right niche? Are you doing the right thing? Sometimes people say, Ross, I've been making videos for X amount of years, I'm struggling. Sometimes you just need an outsider to take a look, because I do see a lot of times and think, well, this person's made 10 videos that are getting 50% more views than the other videos, then they've kind of switched up to something else. It's like you have to focus on the thing that does well if you want to grow a channel. If you're not bothered about growing quickly, you can do what I do a lot of the time. It's like, I think of a good idea, and I think even if nobody watches it, it's like, this is a good idea because I've enjoyed making it. I've made fun from the thing that's supposed to be fun. If you want to focus on the things that are just driving views, just driving subscribers and trying to get there the fastest, you do have to like knock yourself out and be like, no, I need to focus on X, Y, and Z. This is what's growing. This is what's working in my niche. This is what I need to do. It's up to you. So one thing I always try to be on this channel is realistic and be optimistic and try to keep things fun. You could say, Ross, what are you talking about with these channels? Who cares about a channel that gains 1,000 subscribers or even 100,000 subscribers? You might think you need to be looking at channels that get millions of views, but YouTube doesn't work like that. 95% of all channels grow in like peaks and troughs, kind of like hills. It's ups and downs, ups and downs. A lot of people love growth, and then it'll slow down for a time until they find the next thing. And those chunks of growth is what adds up to having a large channel. Even Mr. Beast, he's been going at it for a long time. It wasn't always just up. That's why we look at the channels we look at. If you're a small creator, you don't want to look at a channel that's got 100 million subscribers and say, well, what can I learn from that person? Because you won't have the budget to replicate what's somebody who has a team of people? But if you're looking at people who are not too far away from you and you think, well, how can I get from where I am now to where they are? That's why it's better to look, when you do your research, at channels that grow like these ones do, in lumps and bumps, because that's what you want. You want to have a chunk and then another chunk, and the more chunks you get, you become a chunky monkey. Speaking of, been there, done that, bought the t-shirt, our next creator is Mike, also known as Old Me Living on YouTube. He's an 80-year-old creator. Again, he taps into this. What are you doing with your life? I'm 80 years old. I'm showing you I didn't know how to start a YouTube channel. I've done it. Watch me on my journey, and he's succeeding. He's only posted 17 videos, but the reason he's done so well is his 4th video that he posted, 245,000 views. He's talking here with, again, not much editing, not exactly the best thumbnail on YouTube. He's changed this thumbnail a few times, but it's not about the thumbnail. It's not about the title even. I would say it's about the person behind the camera sharing their life experience. So he started off his channel, you know, things to do at 80. If you die, how will your dog feel? It was only when he got into his niche of talking about his evidence on YouTube that it actually blew up. He went from 0 to 1,000 subscribers in 2 months. He then went from 1,000 subscribers up to over 20,000 subscribers now in another 2 months, and he's only made about 14 videos. Crazy. How many times in life have you sat there and felt like, I'm too old, I can't do it, this isn't for me, it's too complicated? But Mike is sitting there as an 80-year-old man saying to you, look, I didn't know what I was doing. He says he spent 3 months at the beginning, before he even uploaded his video, researching.
Now here's the secret though. The secret is, even though I started my channel 3 weeks ago, Old Me Living Better, I started planning my channel 3 months ago. That's right, 3 months ago, I started planning my channel. Here's the secret. You need patience.
He said he watched a lot of YouTube gurus. He probably watched my videos, which is why he's grown his channel, obviously. I'm just kidding. One thing I really admire about Mike as well, I've always got a lot of time for creators who reply to comments. I left him a comment on my video, and actually pretty much instantly he replied to me, and I was like, do you know what, this guy's genuine. He's sat there responding to the people who matter. There are a lot of YouTubers, big YouTubers, small YouTubers, who just never look at the comments. I'm not talking about if I've got work, I don't look at it for a few days, but most of the time trying to reply to comments as soon as I see them. You don't have to do it all the time, but if you get round to them, you should do it, especially if you're a small channel. You have no excuse. He replied, I was like, he gets a gold star. Now, people who don't reply to comments are a pain in the neck. And speaking of our next YouTuber, she had a real pain in her neck, and that's how she started her YouTube journey. And that is Diane Moore, or Moore. I should have really checked. You'll see what's interesting here is Diane actually started a channel 5 years ago, so she did some videos about neck surgery, which is great. You know, it's something that's quite unique on YouTube. There's probably not thousands of channels that talk about this thing. She's going through a journey. She's gone from pretty much 0 subscribers, which was about 4 years ago, all the way to, in the last 6 months, she's jumped up here, and then in the last 6 months, she's gone from, say, 1,000 subscribers all the way up to now 25,000 subscribers. How has she done this? Now, Diane posted around 8 videos in 5 years, but you'll see at this moment here, she talks about in this video, she needs to switch things up. She's kind of realizing, I can't keep talking about this forever. There's other things, I've got life experience that I want to talk about. And then that pretty much led, within not much time at all, her getting her first viral video, a massive video. Why starting a YouTube channel is brilliant, even if nobody watches. Got 200,000 views. You'll see here in this video, this is where things really took off.
Why will anyone care what you have to say? What if no one watches? What do we even talk about? Oh my gosh, what if they leave rude comments? Okay. I'm sure if you've given any thought whatsoever to starting a YouTube channel, all of those things have gone through your head. They've gone through mine. But I want to encourage you to throw caution to the wind and give in to that little inkling you've been having of maybe I should start a YouTube channel.
Diane goes on, like a lot of other people in these videos, to say how she's there just making videos, talking about her life experience, Not much editing. In fact, Diane has hardly any editing. She's got little cuts here and there, but basically nothing. She's talking about years of experience in the things she knows about. She could have hired a video editor, had really flashy graphics. She could have been a presenter like this. Do you want to know how to start a YouTube channel? Well, first you go to youtube.com. But she didn't. She said, do you know what, guys? Here I am. I am making a video. Sometimes people come to me with a small channel, maybe 20 subscribers, maybe 100 subscribers, and they are crippled with the feeling that they need a video editor. People focus on the wrong things when starting a YouTube channel, which is usually to just make videos. It's important to talk about the things that you enjoy in life, the things that you want to spend your time talking about, looking into. Like me, I enjoy YouTube. Spend all of my time looking into YouTube channels, doing research, all those kinds of things. This is the thing I enjoy doing. Tell your face, Ross, but this is the thing I enjoy doing. So when you've got less than 1,000 subscribers, maybe even less than 100,000 subscribers, people get crippled by focusing on things like titles, thumbnails, video editing, YouTube Studio, all the things that are the outside of making a video, but not actually focusing on, like Diane did here, making a video, connecting with her audience, growing a community. That's what's important on YouTube. All the other things, yes, they're all pieces of the same pie, which will help you grow your channel, but they're not the most important thing, because it's old advice, but as people will say, make 100 videos, make 200 videos, and you'll improve. If you just improve 1% over time, then 200 videos time, 200% better than when you started. Do you ever write something down and you've absolutely no idea what it says? You can't even see it, look. But what I have written on there is like the scribblings of a madman at 2 o'clock in the morning, where I'm like, oh, now I've got a creative way, I'll write it down. But the only problem is I can't read what it says. But it was probably something really interesting. So give me a like if you enjoyed that little tip. The next creator started off his YouTube journey by making videos in his car. Not those kinds of videos, but these kinds of videos.
Well, hello, Kevin here. So this is something I want to try. I've kind of wanted to try for a while. And I bought this mount, so I've got it mounted in my truck now, so I can blab on.
They're what I would call, nobody else knows this, but it's a word I've invented called vlogs. Okay, so it's like vlogging outside. So he went from 0 to 13,000 subscribers in 7 years, which is still really good. Like, we'd all like 13,000 subscribers. So he's now at 76,000 subscribers. If we have a quick look, it's the classic when you start a YouTube channel, you don't really care as much. So you think, oh, I'm out vlogging, people will want to watch this. 59 views.
It wasn't until a couple of years later that my channel got audited that I really started getting serious about YouTube. And when I say got serious, I stopped trying to figure out the other platforms and grow, and I just started looking more into YouTube and started doing a lot of how-to stuff.
We go to his most popular video, and of course it is. It's never too late. Over 40, you should start a YouTube channel. It's never too late. Why? He tapped in to something that created a feeling. He was being authentic. He's like, do you know what? This is me. This is the age I am. I'm 63 years old. He's telling his viewers, if you're over 40, start a YouTube channel. Do what I did. That made him relatable. Now, the most interesting part of Kevin's journey, I believe, is he actually had a viral video before, how to get Final Cut Pro 10 now for free, which is like a, here's some information, people want that information. The video did well, but he didn't gain 70,000 subscribers from that video. This is another great example of why clickbait doesn't work. There are no shortcuts, there are no hacks on YouTube to growing a successful channel. There is no easy mode, as everyone likes to say. This is a product that costs hundreds of pounds, so of course a huge surge in views. For this video, people are like, I want this for free. Then they get a little bit further into the video, and actually it's a 90-day free trial, which leaves a bit of a bad experience for the viewers. His more recent video, which is a similar amount of views, shot him up to over 76,000 subscribers. Why is that? Because people have connected to him. They're relating to him. They want to come back for more. In the last 5 months. He's changed his channel theme. It's less random. It's about, well, if you're over 40 and you want to start a YouTube channel, I'm going to help you on that journey, and these are the reasons why. Another channel that I want to take a look at here is Rob the Maritimer. So he's up to 30,000 subscribers. He's got 253 videos. He went from 0 to 1,000 subscribers in 2 years. He then went to 4K subscribers in 4 years. But in 6 months, he gained 24,000 subscribers because he switched up his content. His older videos, they're like how-to videos. It's telling you how to animate images. But you'll notice a change when you get into his more recent videos, and it was literally here. So you see all these previous videos, they are like classic YouTube thumbnails that people will say these are the thumbnails you need on YouTube to be successful. He's cut out his face, it's on top of a background image. But his channel blew up here, nearly 500,000 views, when he stopped focusing on the thumbnail. Look at his thumbnail there. It's him. Not even looking at the camera. He's got some words on the screen, anyone can do that. But he switched from his content, which was do this, do that. Educational content, which is very popular on YouTube. It does well in search, got him to 4,000 subscribers.
Behaviors are an easy way to add really cool and complex animations to your videos, text, and callouts in Camtasia. Hey guys, today's video is going to be a little bit different than what you're used to seeing from me if you've been here before. If you're new, then welcome. Nice to meet you. So yeah,
you can really see the difference here between the two videos. Rob, in the first video, is a presenter in a similar style to, say, a television presenter. In the second video, everything is stripped back. There is no music, minimal editing, and a more authentic style. Now, you don't need to have a big personality, but if you can get a connection, I'm not saying it's easy, but if you can find a way to create a connection with your viewers, a feeling, that's what will make your channel grow. Another creator we're going to look at, which everybody talks about at the moment, is DoorDash. She's gone from 0 all the way up to, say, 2,000 subscribers in 2 years, but then she's gone from 2,000 subscribers all the way up to 73,000 subscribers in the space of the past 6 months. If we take a look at her channel, and it might surprise you if you haven't seen it, but I'm sure you have, she doesn't focus on titles. Revenue update, great news, 6,000 views. Where's I got 4,000 watch hours so fast? 9,000 views. And if you look at her thumbnails, they're not the classic Mr. Beast style thumbnails, the over-edited thumbnails. They're all just very taking a picture with the camera. She didn't focus on making the best thumbnail. She didn't focus on making the best title. She focused on connecting with the viewers, which is the most important thing, the subscribers.
This is a clarion call for all of you hotties over 50. I know you tired. You done worked your whole life. I know you tired of eating at them nasty potlucks, sitting mingling with people you don't like, trying to get along with your boss knowing you don't like her. I know you're tired thinking about retirement, wondering how you gonna make it, how you gonna survive.
If we go to her most popular video, which is 360,000 views, if you're pretty, you need to have your ass on YouTube, which made me smile a little bit because it is quite funny, but it's not the classic title where you would think you would have something like, you know, a VidIQ style title that's like the shocking reason you need, all those kinds of things. She just wrote out a title that reflected her as a creator. She used a thumbnail that was, yeah, it looks good. You can see a reaction, which is quite good. But most of her other thumbnails in her videos, in her most popular videos, are not actually the classic over-edited style of thumbnail. Something else we can learn from these creators who are blowing up on the platform at the moment is about knowing your audience and understanding your audience. Setting expectations for the content that you create. So if you're editing videos, think about the style that your audience, if it's over 40s you're aiming at, they're maybe not looking for the heavily over-edited style of content. Same goes with the thumbnails. You don't need to worry if you're just starting out about having the best thumbnails, best in brackets, because what some people may see as the best, others may not, and there is a bit of a surge at the moment going back to the more authentic style of thumbnail. And I always say, set expectations with your thumbnail, your title, and your style of video editing. So with your thumbnail and title, don't go for the really over-the-top, overblown if the content isn't like that. So if you have a really heavily edited thumbnail, you make yourself look beautiful, you cut your picture out, there's loads of explosions going off or whatever it might be in the thumbnail, people are going to expect a certain type of content. If you make thumbnails like Mr. Beast, people are going to expect that level of quality when they watch your video. And if it isn't, and you can't deliver that, it's going to lead to a lower audience watch time and retention. Same goes with the title. I see so many titles on YouTube, the most shocking, you won't believe this, really over the top titles. And then when you watch the video, you're like, all right, is that it? That wasn't really shocking, or the most shocking video I've ever seen, and I didn't really need to act now or I would die. Sometimes people talk on YouTube like this, and there's nothing wrong with that, but that creator is not thinking of the person on the other side of the screen. They're thinking of themselves as a presenter, maybe somebody who's on stage speaking. I do also understand, because I've worked in television, with a microphone, when people have microphones, they tend to forget if the camera's far away that they don't need to shout, but people do anyway. If you can communicate with the person who you've researched who your audience actually is, and you can break it down like this, you can give them a name, think of what gender they might be, your target audience. What do they watch on YouTube? Similar videos. What is it they're looking to find out? But my target audience is people who are looking to start a YouTube channel. Maybe they're on the journey of starting a YouTube channel. Maybe they're sick of all the same advice they hear all the time that's out of date. They're sick of being spoken to like they're idiots, that YouTube's in easy mode, and all these types of things. That's when I sit down, when I plan a video, they're the people who I'm thinking, do you know what? This is something I've found out, and I think that person is going to enjoy this. If you think of your audience, and even when you get to a bigger channel, you've got 1 million subscribers, think about the one person who you're trying to reach. So what we can learn from these over 40s who are blowing up on YouTube, whether you're over 40 or under 40, is authenticity will grow a community. Authenticity will grow your channel. Being yourself, using your strengths to your advantage. You don't need to come onto YouTube and pretend to be someone else to try and get views. You don't need to have someone else's video editing style. You don't need to have the best thumbnails, the best titles. You can learn as you go along and grow as a creator. The most important thing is just be yourself. Unless you're coming into my niche, because let's be honest, it's oversaturated. There's only enough room for me. I don't know what's going on there, but my notepad on the computer's just popped up. Spooky. So let's be honest, there's already enough people in my niche. So if you're thinking of starting a YouTube channel, as long as it's got nothing to do with my niche, which is how to grow a YouTube channel, because there's already one of me and I am the #1 now. Everybody else should delete the channel. But if you want to grow on YouTube and you do anything other than in my niche, that's totally fine. Something else I wanted to just talk about briefly is, I had comments when I first started my YouTube channel, people saying, oh, you're wasting your time talking about YouTube. There's so many YouTube channels doing this. Negative comments where if I hadn't been on YouTube for 13 years, I might have just been like, I'm going to quit. But I wrote it out. My theory in my head was, there's a huge audience here from people who maybe want a different perspective, my perspective. And I was right. I've gone from 0 to 100,000. I've gone from 0 to 1,000 subscribers in only about 20 plus videos. That's pretty good. If you're ever worried and thinking, oh, there's so many people in this niche that I want to start a YouTube channel and how am I going to fit in there? Just be yourself. Don't try to be like everyone else. Don't try on purpose to be like, oh, I'm going to be edgy and dynamic and not. But just be yourself and you'll be surprised, because I'm very different to other channels. I'm the best. I'm so unique. I'm very different to other people in my niche. Look at me, I'm the world's smallest YouTuber. Now, like what I've done here, I've spent the past few months looking at numerous channels that have come onto my radar that are in my niche, how to grow YouTube channel, and tried to understand why they are successful, what makes them channels successful. And I would recommend that you do the same in your niche and see what is actually working, what other videos are people making that is working, what do their audience say in the comments, those kinds of things. But there is a warning to this. Don't get too bogged down in comparing yourself to other people, because I've done this in the past where you start going down a YouTube black hole and you end up watching numerous videos and it stops you making videos. I've done this for the purpose of making a YouTube video, which is why I've really looked into it. But obviously it is good. It amazes me. I knew somebody when I used to have my old YouTube channel who was of the mindset, oh, I don't watch YouTube videos, I make YouTube videos. To me, that is the worst kind of position to put yourself in. You really need to love YouTube, watch other creators, even if they're not in your niche. A lot of the people I watch aren't in my niche, but the style of videos they make, I'm like, oh, one day I would love to be able to make that kind of content. That is the style of video I love, and I try to bring it into my own way of thinking, my own personality, and my own niche. So that's just something to consider. Do your research, it's really important before you make a video, but don't get too involved in looking at the data and that kind of thing. Does that make sense? I think it does. How many times do you watch people and they say how to, but they're not showing evidence that they've done it? See this with AI channels where they say, make a faceless channel, make an AI channel, you make millions of pounds, but their business model is to sell you a course. It's not to have hundreds of these channels because it's so easy. Now, for as many channels that I've covered today, and I did look into hundreds, in my little list, I had about 50. Not everyone who makes this video, I'm not saying make a video over 40, start a YouTube channel and you'll be successful, because for as many creators who were successful, there was also probably as many who weren't successful. Channels who have 50,000, 100,000 subscribers thought, I'm going to jump on this trend and make a video about it. Do you know what? Some of them videos got, some of them videos got virtually 0 views. And why is that? Because, as I keep saying, if you're not authentic, if you're not actually saying and understanding why the niche was successful, people are talking from their life experience, sharing the ups, the downs, what it actually means to them, having that kind of relationship with the subscribers. That is why some videos do well, some videos do badly in this niche anyway. We're talking about talking head style channels here. If you get that connection with the viewer, and I think with the rise in AI content and all this kind of stuff, if you can get that connection rather than being a presenter, but of course I'm not saying there's anything wrong with being a presenter. Education channels still need presenters. You don't always have to give your life away to have a connection. You know, there's a lot of channels where maybe this doesn't apply to. It's so important when you're thinking of your video ideas to research them. That doesn't just mean looking at successful videos. Try to find the channels that have outliers. Find channels that are not too far away from you are in terms of subscriber numbers and they've had a huge video with lots of views. Try to find those channels. They're more realistic to what I can achieve. But I would also say it's important to sometimes look at the channels that don't do well with certain videos. Think, here's 2 videos. One got 1 million views, one got 10 views. What was the difference? Because YouTube treats every video on the platform as an individual video. So that's why sometimes now you see channels with 500,000 subscribers. Some videos get views, some videos get none. Each video is treated on its own merits. And if your video is not good, it's going to be treated the same as someone who's got 0 subscribers but makes a really good video. Their channel's going to grow. If you enjoyed this video, took me a long time to edit certain parts of it. If you did enjoy it, give me a thumbs up. If you didn't enjoy it, then let me know in the comments. You know, I'm trying things differently. It's like start of a new year. I have some huge ideas for this year. It's like I've got to make the videos that I want to make. And sometimes I do rush videos out. And this one, I've really tried to put a lot more effort into it. So if you appreciate that, I'd appreciate a like, comment, and subscribe. I've got to go. Goodbye.